It is here, June, National Candy and Accordion Awareness Month. So no doubt you have big celebrations to attend. So we decided to start this week's Explore Tulsa with a stylish place to shop.
Then the art of handiwork.
Followed by Up, Up and Away.
Plus where science is king.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Hello and welcome to June on Explore Tulsa.
Hold on, let me play a little shopping tune on my accordion.
What? Do you even know how to play an accordion?
No, but my youngest son does. He even played it at his wedding.
Oh, any music is good to me that has shopping attached to it.
And you'll love shopping at the mother-daughter shop they call Posh Style.
Ooh.
We actually noticed that when we were shopping, we were traveling out of town, and we thought that's a problem. You know, we should be shopping in our own city and at a local boutique, and we were having a hard time finding something during that time period. So we started doing a little investigating, had no idea how to open a business, so went to market and asked questions and started doing it out of my house for a little bit. And then over about a 3-year time period, we finally opened a store.
Who better to go in business with, right? If you fight, you get over it pretty quickly. You can have disagreements because you've had them your entire life, and then move forward.
First of all, we didn't want to shop at a chain store. We wanted something that was unique and that we wouldn't see ourselves all the time. And we wanted a place where mothers and daughters could shop together.
If a mother-daughter comes in, the daughter normally relates with me, and I can help her with fashion, but also read the mom. The mom's like giving me the look like, don't let her buy that dress. And so I find a way to talk her out of it or talk her into it because it's more age appropriate, but she values my opinion because I'm closer to her age. Whereas if my mom said the exact same thing, all of a sudden it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're too old. Like, you don't know the trends. So it's nice to have both age groups.
We didn't want it to just be a shop for teenagers. We wanted the mothers to come in here and find things too. And so when we go to market, we think about that. I don't try to discourage the choices she's making as far as fashion and saying, you know, like if she's telling me she doesn't like something, but I feel really strongly about it and think it will make a good contribution to the store, I'll do it anyway. And I think we're both right on, you know, for our target audience. You know, we actually had another store for 8 years at 59th and Lewis, and we opened this second store 2 years ago, and we did that for a while, and then one Christmas Eve we were closing, and I was here at the other location, and she was here, and I said, you know, this is too much. We did this so we could spend time together, and we're spending too much time apart, and you know, our contact was over the phone versus spending time together. So we decided we're going to close one store, and we just went with this neighborhood. I just love what's happening here.
Well, we get to be together, so you know, most people don't get to have that much family time together.
This has really changed our relationship. I'm very respectful of her opinion as a business owner. She's pretty tech savvy, and she's the one who keeps up our website and follows fashion trends, so I really respect her opinions.
We're able to, you know, be more friends at this point in our life. If we were younger and she still needed to be a mother figure, I don't think it would necessarily work, but I'm grown, she's grown. We've been through a lot in our lives, and sometimes I take the mother role, sometimes she takes the mother role.
She was a handful when she was growing up, but part of that is what makes her such a good business partner. She's pretty feisty. She's the one, like I'm the good cop, she's the bad cop. If we have to make a business decision that's a little tough, she's the one that usually handles that, and I just sit back and watch her work. She's very savvy, you know, to be such a young age.
She is a customer guru. Everybody loves her. There's not a person in Tulsa who would say anything bad about her. And I mean, loyalty from customers is pretty important, so they feel loyal to her personality.
That's my favorite thing. I think it's like solving a problem. If they come in here and they're looking for an outfit for a certain occasion, I love helping them find that thing that makes them feel pretty. And you can see the difference when you get it right. They just glow, and that's what I love. That's why I do this.
You know what they say about moms and daughters. A daughter is just a little girl who's growing up to be her best friend.
And that's been working great for Melissa and Susan since they started Posh Style in 2011. To learn more about what they have available or to follow their blog, visit poshtulsa.com.
They have a great shop, but I didn't see any guy stuff in there.
Well, then maybe you'll enjoy our next guest. Brett at Batson Handmade, he's got all kinds of tools, and he's coming up with more Explore Tulsa.
Sony and Video Revolution take you there. From space travel to world championships. Tomorrow's technology today. 4K smart TVs and the largest flat screens available. Now more than ever, you have the best seat in the world when history is made. Video Revolution. On the northwest corner, 71st and Lewis.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Hi there, and thanks for staying with us for more Explore Tulsa.
You know, Trish, I'm more of a Tim the Tool Man kind of guy.
You mean you try to make things, but you instead just end up in breaking them and hurting yourself?
No, I'm a handyman like Brett Batson at Batson Handmade. A man who loves homemade crafting and working with power tools.
The saying about, they don't make them like they used to is just 100% accurate. And, there's a reason. It takes longer to make stuff. You can't make as many, and you can't please the masses. I'm not trying to please the masses, and so I try to dial it in as much as I can and produce the best product I can. I would say my dad was an early influence. He always had a project going around the house, and he's the kind of guy that came from a blue-collar background and sort of pulled himself up to being a white-collar man, and I would say I'm kind of the opposite. Or white-collar background, and have basically taught myself how to be blue-collar and prefer it that way. Been in real estate for about 15 years. I have remodeled several houses over that time, and I guess everything that I always zeroed in on were the little special projects on those remodels, and basically over the course of that time just realized I loved the little special projects, could probably take or leave the larger real estate portion, and so I like dialing in and trying to come up with something that hadn't been done, or trying a different take on something that might be out there. And I would say over the last 3 or 4 years have decided to take it more seriously and believe finally that this is what I want to do when I grow up. So it's actually amazing how advanced just your everyday craftsman was 80 years ago, and it literally takes a lifetime to where people can get that good. I get better every day and try to get better every day, and add a little bit more of that flair and detail as I can. Significance in my style would be definitely sturdy. I tend to overbuild. I want the thing to last, and I want there to be no doubt that it will last. I also like clean lines, and lots of times angular, clean lines would be something you could identify. Probably my favorite pieces have been items that are basically commissioned by people. They have a very vague idea of what they want, and they want me to turn myself loose and do whatever pops into my head. And you know, those are honestly produce the best product because it really involves the most heart. A couple of my favorites have been just a pretty simple trestle table for my good friends that involve some wood that I harvested, as well as some like turnbuckles from an old granary from a mutual friend of the people who commissioned the table, and just incorporated them in a way that I hadn't seen done before, and was really proud of that. Another one was a little TV cabinet that I produced that we had a really tight space to work with and a difficult quandary, I guess, and then we made it work with something, again, that I haven't seen before, and definitely proudest when I feel like I've produced something that I haven't seen before. I've realized I'm a very literal, tangible person. I need to see it and feel it and touch it. I need to see its progress. And basically, I can do digital, but much prefer analog, and prefer the old ways, and prefer the way things used to be made, and prefer the long-lasting patina, things that get better as they age, and things that you can hand down to your children. So.
That Brett has some serious skills. All the craft work looks amazing.
To see a gallery of Brett's handiwork, visit batsonhandmade.com to learn more.
I bet Brett could make a crazy cool hot air balloon basket.
If so, he better get to cracking, because the Tulsa Balloon Festival is coming up June 14th through June 18th.
And Ricky Lyons tells us all about what to expect when we come back with more Explore Tulsa. Gluten-free, organic, natural, whole grain, all words used by marketers to make you believe you're buying healthy food.
Even when the product isn't necessarily good for you.
But there's an easy fix. Instead of believing what's in front of you, turn it around and read the label. Find out what's really in the product.
Our goal is to eliminate sugars, grains, and breads from our diet. Start by eliminating sugar and grains one day each week.
Each day without sugar and grains is one day closer to a healthier you.
Visit our website to find our free glycemic index food chart to learn how specific carbohydrates affect your body.
600 million people from over 238,000 miles away watched what no other person had ever done before. Neil Armstrong became the first man to step on the surface of the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Television brings us more than just entertainment. It brings us history. History that changes our lives. Sony and Video Revolution take you there, from space travel to world championships. Tomorrow's technology today. 4K smart TVs, and the largest flat screens available. Now more than ever, you have the best seat in the world when history is made. Video Revolution. On the northwest corner, 71st and Lewis.
So excited to see you back and ready to take to the skies.
That's right, Stevie. The Tulsa Balloon Festival is back June 14th through the 18th, because everybody loves hot air balloons.
Except maybe the Wizard. He had a little trip from Kansas to Emerald City. Didn't work out so well. And then there were those witches and flying monkeys.
Yeah, and The Wizard of Oz was a very entertaining movie, but actual hot air balloons are an amazing sight to see.
Balloon pilots are a very special breed of person, I would say, and I don't want to upset any of them by saying that, but you know, it's like having your local TV weatherman, adventurer, you know, and they're all really like calm, down-to-earth people as well. So there's maybe 3 or 4 different personalities put together, and they're, you know, a great bunch of people. It's a very small community. Everybody knows everybody. But yeah, just their sheer knowledge of the weather and everything else, it's just mind-blowing how intelligent these guys are. You could go out expecting to head up to Owasso from here and end up in Broken Arrow pretty easily. It's just, you know, whichever the wind speeds are and directions are at the various different heights. So it's a little bit of a maze and picking your way through the winds, and you know, those real highly skilled pilots can get you anywhere you want to go pretty much. There's 5 or so pilots here in Tulsa that I can think of, and maybe 3 in Oklahoma City. But the whole thought of bringing the festival back into Tulsa instead of out in Claremore or whatever else is that try and get the club back together. We'll get a training balloon, hopefully train young people who are interested in flying to fly these amazing aircrafts, and try and have a bit of a revival here in town. I'm currently learning to be a balloon pilot. Last year, I must have flown about 8 or 9 times throughout the year. Got a bit of a taste for it. It's, most incredible feeling. It's so peaceful and quiet, and the views are amazing. So, kind of decided that after the festival last year, I'd try to learn and get myself a balloon. And not sure I trust myself to fly myself yet, but it's work in progress. So I moved here 2.5 years ago, in 2015. Now a permanent resident holder and just business owner, living the American dream, I guess. I've dabbled in events throughout my life, I guess, but more so with this, it was just an opportunity to get involved and help the community, and maybe establish a track record for myself in running events here in Oklahoma. Being new to the States, it was just a good opportunity. Where we started from last year was the Gatesway Balloon Festival ran for 20 years. They decided that they were not going to run an event last year, so the balloon director, all of the balloonists, a lot of the vendors, they literally were looking for something to do in place of that missing festival. So we came up with the idea to bring the Balloon Festival back to Tulsa, so back into the metro. We added a 20-odd ride carnival, shopping tents, helicopter rides, a bit of a state fair without the animals really, and then just put the balloons in its place. It's a 5-day festival. It runs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday evening, 5 till probably 11, or when the last person leaves, and then on the Saturday and Sunday we open the gates at 2 o'clock, and it runs all the way through to 11. When you come during the week, there'll be a glow every night, which kind of sets us apart from other balloon festivals in the country, but we have the carnival, the food tents, the food vendors, the shopping tents, retail vendors everywhere. On the Saturday and Sunday we do open at 2 o'clock, which is a little bit earlier. There's no balloons between 2 and 5, so we've brought in full metal jousting, and there's a parachute team, and some planes flying over and things like that. So try and make it so there's enough going on that rain or shine, there's enough here to keep people entertained for the weekend. So we're going to have around 50 balloons. We're going to have pilots from Florida. We've got maybe 3 or 4 from California, some coming down from Pennsylvania. So it's pretty much the whole country we're attracting balloons from, and that's most balloon festivals now are about 15 to 20 balloons. We're, I guess, really lucky that we have so many balloons coming to our event. We're hoping to be the 2nd biggest in the country this year in terms of guest numbers. So we're really trying to put Tulsa on the map with the ballooning community.
I've been to the Balloon Festival before, and it really is very impressive to watch the fire ignite as they fill the balloons with air, and beautiful to see when they all take out to the skies.
Well, we'll all have our chance again to wander at their glory, coming up June 14th through the 18th. Visit TulsaIBF.com to learn more.
And the science of flight is pretty incredible.
Well, if you're in the mood to put your brain to work, Stevie, then I have the perfect place for you, the new Stem Cell Science Shop.
I'm all about meeting Stem Cells Terry Mudge next, as long as there's not going to be a pop quiz when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
Take charge of your health. We are what we put into our bodies.
We approach medicine from a unique standpoint. Rather than treating only the symptoms of an illness, we work to find the root cause and promote wellness of the entire body.
Our clinic offers complete assessment and treatment programs, including hormone replacement therapy, osteopathic manipulative therapy, and genetic DNA testing. It all starts with a medical evaluation.
Contact us today to begin your path to wellness.
Our most beautiful 4K HDR TV. easily manage your cables for even a clean rear look. It hangs flat on the wall, just like a piece of art. Yet its slimness creates astounding images. Experience new discoveries with Android TV by getting instant access to everything you need. Introducing the latest Sony 4K HDR TV.
Hey, nice to see you still with us. So Stevie, how well did you do in science class?
Well, it depends on who you ask. I'm gonna tell you that I did pretty darn good. My teacher likes to tell a completely different story that doesn't have a happy ending.
Well, it sounds like you could benefit from some time with Terry at his new stem cell science shop.
I opened the store because I always wanted a store like this. I imagined a sort of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory type of place where you go in and you could play with everything and everything's doing something, and it's just a lot of fun. STEM is an acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And my shop is sort of a cell in this block of shops, and so it's a nice play on words, plus the scientific significance of stem cells themselves. I think I just sort of developed an interest myself. I've always loved learning new things, regardless of the subject, and I was just naturally drawn to how things work on the scientific side, and so I've just kind of nurtured that my whole life, just for fun, and still going. I like outer space and cosmology and that sort of stuff, but I'm open to anything, even biology. I'm not a big fan of biology, it's really gross, but it's fascinating and I have a lot of biology stuff in here. I thought people would come in for a lot of the, I guess you would call the equipment to actually do science, like the telescopes and the beakers and stuff. That's what I was most excited for, to have a place that supplied those, and we do get people who are really grateful for that. But I've been surprised, most people are really excited for kind of the pop science stuff, the memorabilia, like the mugs and the cards and stuff that just kind of display science rather than actually doing science. I get a lot of teachers, homeschoolers are really grateful to have a resource like this because you can't just go buy a lot of this stuff anywhere. So it's been really helpful to the homeschool community, and I'm trying to get more involved with the schools around here to try and put on events and cooperate with them. Yeah, we're working on making kits right now. We're going to have some in store, and we're also going to start a monthly subscription box where you get either lab components or an experiment or some sort of scientific collectible items. So these are some of the best telescopes you can buy. A lot of people, when they're just starting out with astronomy, they just go buy like the cheapest one at Walmart and figure they'll go up from there. But what happens is a lot of times they'll buy that one and it's really frustrating, really difficult to use. It's really poorly made, so it doesn't provide very good results. And so you just get frustrated and disappointed and say astronomy isn't very fun, this is really hard. But if you just spend a few more dollars on the professional grade ones, you get really great results right out of the box. And they're so simple to use. And a lot of people are really surprised at the price points. They're not as high as they would expect. Seeing a lot of parents buy 3D printers for their kids, trying to get them into something a little more hands-on rather than just video games or whatever. But also you got your kind of just grown-up hobbyist who just wants to make stuff at home. It's nice to finally have a physical example of what I was thinking of before when I was trying to explain to people, but we're still learning every day how to make it better and everything. And it's been a lot of fun. Everyone who comes in loves it, and if they're not interested in science, they brag about, oh, so-and-so, my brother is into this, and oh, I have a friend who would just love this place. So it's something everyone can relate to. They just didn't know we needed a store like this before it existed.
I tell you what, I used to think that those big telescopes for stargazing were out of my budget, but Terry has them at a price that actually could have helped me in astronomy.
To see all the cool science stuff for yourself, visit the Stem Cell Science Lab at the Boxyard or online at stemcelltulsa.com.
Hey Trish, I got a science question for you. Why can't atoms be trusted?
Go ahead, let's hear why, Mr. Science Guy.
Because they make up everything.
Stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
We do podiatry, we do dental oral appliances, we do women's health, we see children, pediatrics, and overall family care.
I'm a primary care provider for Sooner Care. We're also taking commercial insurances now as well. Any given day, I might do a well child on a 4-day-old baby and then see a 72-year-old who's here because they need a follow-up on their sleep study.
Patients seem to like the idea where they can just come here and they don't have to worry about going to all these different specialists, whether they need a sleep study or a CPAP machine or diabetic shoes or an oral appliance. We help bring all that to the table for them.
And especially with oral appliances, custom fit by a specially trained dentist, and we have Dr. Bennett, who's the best in the business.
It has been my dream to be able to work with all the specialties together. There are not many places in the United States that have all parts of this together. To me, it's amazing, and that's truly how sleep and patient care should be.
Be sure to join us next week when we take a peek at the new Smithsonian exhibit, making a tour and a stop at the Broken Arrow Museum.
Hey, special thanks to the Posh Style mother-daughter team of Susan and Melissa for giving us a reason to shop.
Well, thanks too to Brett Batson for sharing his handiwork at Batson Handmade. And thanks to Ricky Lyons for keeping the Tulsa Balloon Festival alive and well.
Plus thanks to Terry Mudge for making science fun again at the Stem Cell Science Shop.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
And hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for all your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
And we welcome our newest sponsors, Drs. Mark and Michelle Sherwood at 61st and Sheridan.
Remember, your journey to whole body healing and wellness begins with Functional Medical Institute.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.